to my mind the picture of my mother as I was a very naughty boy, and I used to give her lot of trouble. So she could have thought perhaps that naughty boy today has been chosen by large number of political parties to be the president of this country.
जब से लेकर के मेरा परिचय हुआ प्रणब दा से राज्यसभा में, तब से लेकर के मैं उनकी योग्यता, उनकी क्षमता, उनकी कोई भी बोझ उठाने की क्षमता जो कंधों में है, उसको देख करके हमेशा उनका प्रशंसक रहा।
Hello and welcome to this very special show, UPA II Life After Pranab. His political career spans over 40 years, from Indira to Sonia Gandhi. He's the one man the Congress party has always turned to in an hour of crisis, an all-rounder, an astute politician, the chief troubleshooter. Pranab Mukherjee really was the one man for all seasons, a man who could cut across party lines, bring about consensus, lose his temper, but never his friends. Perhaps one of the last social democrats of the Congress party. But as Pranab Mukherjee gets ready to go to Rashtrapati Bhavan, we assess life after Pranab for UPA II and also debate the economy and the polity he leaves behind. A very special panel of guests joins me right here on this show. Anand Sharma, the Union Minister for Commerce and Industry, Bimal Jalan, the former RBI Governor, S. Narayan, the former Finance Secretary, and Sanjeev Aga, who's been a corporate leader of significant stature. But let us first begin talking about the spectacular journey from a small remote village in West Bengal called Mirati to the mighty Rashtrapati Bhavan. Pranab Mukherjee has been known to be a centrist politician, very keen on consensus, not really an aggressive free market economist. But how has he really fared at North Block, given the tough conditions, and how will the political landscape really change after he exits government?
Pranab Mukherjee, a man of letters and a politician extraordinaire, set for the pinnacle of his over 4-decade-long political career. Born in this nondescript village in West Bengal's Birbhum district in 1935, the Brahmin from Kirnahar will soon be India's 13th president. Known for his magnificent memory, penchant for facts and meticulous parliamentary skills, Pranab Mukherjee has been a trusted soldier of the party and various Congress-led governments. From the Ministry of Shipping, to Commerce, to Defence, to External Affairs, the seasoned politician has been the man Friday of all the Congress Prime Ministers over the years, from Indira Gandhi to Narasimha Rao to Manmohan Singh. But he has been most renowned for being the Finance Minister most number of times in his political career. His second stint, however, was 3 years of turbulence. India's growth has plummeted from the time he took over. Inflation has gone up and fiscal deficit widened. It was Pranab Mukherjee's decision to implement GAR and introduce the retrospective tax laws that earned him global ire and got India Inc. and Dalal Street up in arms. But experts believe steering the economy when the world around us was crashing was no mean task. Known for his amazing persuasive skills, respect across party lines with his no-nonsense attitude, this bespectacled Bengali Bhadralok has been the chief troubleshooter for his party over the years. Life after Pranab for UPA will definitely not be easy. ET Now, Bureau Report.
And on that note, we will plunge right into our debate and discussion. I'd like to shoot my first question to Anand Sharma, who really represents the UPA here. He's also somebody who's worked very closely with Pranab Mukherjee, not just as Commerce Minister, but within the party and also in the MEA. Mr. Sharma, I'd like to talk to you about the virtues that he brings to the table. What does Pranab Mukherjee bring to the table as far as the Congress party, the government and polity is concerned?
Well, he has got strengths when it comes to organization. He is very skillful when it comes to drafting. He has an institutional memory when it comes to the Indian National Congress and the various events which are historically important. And that's why he is the author of many of the resolutions, and also he was chairing the editorial board for the history of the Congress, the recent volumes which have been published.
All right, those are tough shoes to fill in indeed as far as Pranab Mukherjee is concerned. But as he leaves the government, as he leaves UPA, as he leaves the Congress party, he's shouldered many a responsibility. Is there a sense of vacuum? Is there a sense of vacuum that has been created within the government?
Whether in UPA I or UPA II, he has been shouldering a great burden of responsibility and has been, I can say, for the Prime Minister, a senior colleague who has also handled many a crisis situation, whether it was the negotiations earlier or keeping our allies engaged, including the left, for a long period of time when the nuclear deal negotiations were on. It's irrespective of what the final outcome was. And then again in the UPA II, this has not been an easy period. When he became the finance minister,
I'll take a cue from what you last said. Yes, he's weathered many a crisis, but it hasn't been an easy period for him as finance minister. I mean, I do not know how people outside rate him, but there is a global crisis that he's weathered in the last 3 years in North Block. Bimal Jalan, I'm going to come to you because you understand how North Block works better than any of us do here. How will you assess his stint as finance minister from 2009 to 2012?
In the sense that, all the facts are known, and some moves that have been made have not been welcome, and quite rightly so. In the sense that they have not been welcome for good reasons. And if I read it correctly, the finance minister himself has said that he may not have taken all the right decisions. So what I'm saying essentially is that I'm very happy that he has been accorded the distinction of moving to Raisina Hill or the President's house. His service has been very long, and I was associated closely with him in his first round in the finance ministry when I was also working there in different capacities. But, I don't want to sort of what you might call do an overall appraisal. I leave it to you.
All right, that's a task you leave to us journalists, and we'll often be blamed for perhaps sometimes doing a fair and sometimes doing an unfair analysis. But Sanjeev Aga, I can see you nod, not particularly in unison with Bimal Jalan there. Take it away. How do you assess his stint as finance minister?
I've been from a distance observing Mr. Mukherjee since I was a college student and when he was a junior minister in Indira Gandhi's cabinet. And undoubtedly he's perhaps the most versatile of the ministers in the union cabinet or in politics. And he's very hardworking and knowledgeable. Also a very likable personality. But to answer your question bluntly as to how I would rate the last 3 years as a finance minister, my answer would be lackluster.
All right, lackluster and poor. Those are harsh words coming in from Sanjeev Aga. Mr. Narayan, how would you respond to this? Do you agree with that assessment?
I think that would be a little unfair because we must remember that he took over the finance ministry portfolio at the time when the world was going through a severe economic crisis. And along with, I would say, the Reserve Bank, the finance ministry enabled us to get out of the crisis and to show a growth path in 2009-2010. If you really look at the recovery in 2009-2010 compared to what is happening in the rest of the world, I think it was quite remarkable. And therefore, the stewardship in the finance ministry in difficult times, and particularly in the years 2009, 10, 10, 11, has been, I would say, fairly straightforward, fairly impeccable. I would use the word impeccable.
All right, from lackluster and poor to impeccable, that's quite a record for Pranab Mukherjee. But Sanjeev Aga, the one question that I want to ask you, because there's been so much said about, a trust deficit between India, Inc. and North Block. I want to put the ball rolling with you on this subject. We talk about an economy, we talk about very difficult turmoil faced for the economy. Isn't it also true that at some level, perhaps the economy needed the aggression that somebody like a Pranab Mukherjee did not have?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this question, Supriya, because this is a point where I seem to differ from most other commentators today. If I look at the Indian economy today compared to what it was, say, a generation ago, 30 years ago, when not just Mr. Mukherjee but even Dr. Manmohan Singh cut their teeth. Now if you look at the infrastructure sectors, sectors like real estate, sectors like power, sectors like minerals, hydrocarbons, telecom, these occupy a much larger portion of the non-agricultural GDP. It used to be insignificant 25, 30 years ago. Now, Mr. Mukherjee's skill sets lie in the age of excise duty and sales tax, and Dr. Manmohan Singh's and things like 8-digit codes. The management of the economy for these sectors is very different. And in some respects, I think they are behind their times.
All right, experiment and perhaps change is the only constant is the word coming in from India Inc. On that note, we slip into a very short break right here on UPA II Life After Pranab. We come back and debate the big issues about reforms, the tax woes that came to draw a lot of flack for Pranab Mukherjee, and also the coalition he kept going and kept it all together.